If you think we're spinning on a magical ball, then you should hear about a guy named Tycho Brahe, who was an astronomer back in the 1500s, and he actually corrected all of Copernicus and Ptolemy's mistakes. But the only reason you didn't really hear about Tycho Brahe is because he refused to lie, and he said that we are not spinning endlessly through outer space. So yeah, they didn't want to go ahead and use this guy, so they found another guy to say whatever they wanted to say, and they just used him. And that guy was actually Tycho's assistant. His name was Kepler. And we learned plenty about Kepler in school, but not really about Tycho. But the funny thing about it is, Tycho is pretty relevant considering they named one of the craters on the moon after Tycho. So if you want to learn a little bit about Tycho, listen to this.
Place spinning. Is this place flat? Are we truly spinning around the sun? Well, Brahe was quoted as saying the earth stands fast. Talk about telling the truth. This is a time when the Vatican is starting to create globes and say, oh, we don't spin around the earth like we thought we did all these years. Now we spin around the sun. This kind of transition is going on. And here's a man who stood up and told it like he saw it. And from my point of view, it's as close to right as we can get at right now.
In August of 1563, with Tycho now being all of 16, he began his first of many logbooks of his astronomical observations. He observed a 1 in 20-year conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, and noting once again where there were errors in both Copernicus's and Ptolemy's predictions. The Copernican tables were several days off for the prediction of the conjunction. With Ptolemy's data tables, it turned out to be incorrect by a month. Tycho now made it his goal to produce accurate predictions of planetary positions that would be based on accurate observations. In April of 1564, Tycho, now being 17, purchased a cross staff to make his observations. The cross staff was rather large, and so his supervisor, no doubt, was aware that Tycho had been utilizing so much of his time with astronomical observations. Tycho did not care, however, making the decision that astronomy would be his life's work.
And he has to defend that decision time and time again, but he pulls it off almost 100% of the time. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes here. The 1 in 20-year conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn is a big damn deal. In the modern era, most of us know nothing about it. If I'm not mistaken, and I didn't look this up before I sat down, but I remember it occurring to me as we went into Covidius Minimus that it was coinciding not too far from this 20-year conjunction. If you consider what that means, every 20 years this happens, the average person is going to see 3 of these in a lifetime, maybe. So it's almost like a generational marker. I think most people want to put a generation at 25 years, which seems a little off to me. I guess I would put it at 30, but I think it's measured at about 20, 25 years. So basically, this sky clock conjunction is pointing out that division of time in a very real and a very influential way. And we've lost track of how important this mini cycle is. And just think about what I'm saying. This is one tiny mini cycle, a 20-year cycle. It has nothing to do with all the, every year we're going to have eclipses and partial eclipse, solar, lunar, all these cycles had meaning and value. This is what we need to get back to. So the Copernican tables were several days off. Well, what does that tell you about what Mr. Theoretical, the Earth is in, or the sun is in the center of everything, Mr. Copernicus? What's it tell you about his systems? They're wrong, right? How can you be several days off on a prediction of a major event like a conjunction of the 2 biggest luminaries of the time? How can you be off? If you are off by that much, it means your calculations, your theories don't hold water. So Tycho picks it up. And how old is he here? He's 16 years old when he starts doing this. This is a big deal. And also consider this. Think of how sharp your mind was when you were 16 years old. In my 16-year-old lifetime, I wasn't serious yet. So I had the sharpness of mind to do things, but I squandered it. So here's Tycho at 16, aiming it, all that ability of a 16-year-old mind that's learning and sharp and so reflexive. He's aiming it at what he's going to do for the rest of his life. And it starts by realizing Copernicus is wrong.
In the summer of 1565, Tycho returned to Denmark, where his stepfather Jørgen had been in the process of making Tycho his...
When I hear people say we're spinning on a magical ball, and the only 2 names they know, Copernicus and Galileo, yeah. Listen, I know, I understand. I learned a lot about Copernicus and Galileo too, the only two names that you know. I know. Listen, there were thousands of other philosophers and mathematicians and scientists and astronomers that were doing a lot of stuff back then that did not believe we were spinning on a ball. So learn about all of those people too, you know, and try and make up your own mind. Don't just agree with people because that's what you think, because of what you were told in school. This is the problem. And then people, yeah, that's right. Do the research and learn. It's going to take some time, but please, it'll be worth it. I love you all, and this is for your entertainment.